Now, out of all the collaboration characters that we have had, if I'm being completely honest, Yuki might be my favorite in terms of gameplay. Hey, I'll keep it straight. When it comes to a character that can use their hands, I am a sellout for that. I low-key might stand Yuki just because of how this character is designed in solo leveling Arise. But as you guys can see, got an extra 2 dupes into her. Weapons obviously nice and ready to cook. When it comes to her skills, we have pretty much 10. Again, like I said, I had to 10 out her skills because I'm having so much more fun with this character. So much more fun. Gave her the greed set. Again, you can go with the chaotic desire set in terms of the breaker side of things for the fire element. So if you want to cater to that, you're more than welcome to. Of course, I'm going with the greed set as per usual. The core set is okay. I mean, I would only change up the bottom part to the purple one, and yeah, I'm not really too keen on the critical hit rate right there, but yeah, the first two I don't mind being red, that's fine, and then that I'm just, yeah, that should be purple, but I don't have anything for stat wise to provide her for that, so managed to have this already built, so stuck that on her, and she's kind of rocking and rolling. So that's kind of like the easiest way to go about combating and building up her kit. Now, coming back to this character, it's in another situation to what we've looked at previously in terms of the wind typing. Now, with the windbreakers, it was pretty much a bit of a stalemate between the two characters. You know, they were good in their own way. I mean, there are key points where one was better than the other, but it was kind of like more of an even Stevens, right? So it kind of made it so that, you know, Suyun isn't exactly a character that you need to go out and obtain because Gotoruji is still holding his own, as we spoke about before, right? Kind of leave it as that. We're kind of like in the same boat right now with Azel and Yuki, because again, we're in the fire element. There's 2 breakers. Azel came out in January, Yuki's just come out right now. How are things looking? Now, it's going to be an easy one, it's going to be short and sweet, we're going to get straight to the point. Yuki is a beast. She, in my opinion, outdoes Azel in terms of the breakage coverage, in terms of the damage. She's got way more better survivability. I will give Azel that obviously she does have a little bit of more of an area control and range, clearly. But outside of that, yeah, Yuki just completely dominates. And again, such a fun character to use. Such a fun character to use. I believe also her ultimate does have Almighty Break, so yeah, I think all across the board she's got her core has weak, her skill 2 has medium break, her first skill has heavy break, her ultimate has almighty. So breakage coverage, she's got it to an absolute T. So when it comes to the fire element, when it comes to the breakers, Yuki is a more elevated breaker for the fire element. So we're just kind of debunk between the two, you know, because again, like I said, wind element is like, they're both good, a bit of a 50-50 stalemate. Fire element, nah, Yuki's kind of taking the cake. But yeah, she's doing the damage, she's doing what she needs to do. It's fantastic how she's working. You know, again, with max HP, she has that good survivability, she gives herself super armor, like everything that you could want for a breaker to kind of have and stay alive. She's got that going on, which is absolutely amazing, of course. In terms of providing anything for the fire element, because of course, obviously the main thing about Azel, what we do love about her is that we can pile up on debuffs. If I can remember correctly on what it is, I believe it's Prey of the Week, and I think we can stack up to like 50, and each stack is like doing fire element damage of 0.3% per stack, so we do that 50 times, of course. That's kind of one of the key things on what we love about Azel, of course. But on top of that, we do get an attack increase of 3% per fire team member, stacking up 3 times. Key thing is from Azel's A2 dupe is that in the guild mode, as it says, the effect now stacks once per ally instead of once per team member. So that's a little bit of a bonus on that one. And then of course on the A4, it's more so supporting the defense penetration team, because we also do provide ourselves with defense penetration. So again, this is kind of coming back to where we looked at the wind element, where it's more of a complete package in terms of having a full set team, being a double team. So Azel is kind of in more correlation with Suyun when it comes to having that defense pen team. So that way Yuki can kind of cater to rocking with Kane, of course. And so catering to attack increase. Again, it's not too much with what Azel's providing us. It's just attack increase, defense penetration increase, and then of course the debuff that she can stack up and allowing the fire element to do more damage. Obviously, when it comes to Yuki and what we're kind of gaining from her is that she's able to apply debuffs onto the enemy. So again, now we're getting more into allowing counter hit, or even Suyun if you choose to use her as a main DPS, of course, to do more damage. And when it comes to applying distortion, which is a debuff, you know, increasing the damage taken towards the enemy by 3%, of course. I believe that can stack up to 3 times, of course, and then furthermore elevate that into a breakdown debuff, which ultimately gives us an increased damage that the enemy takes of 15% and 20% intake in fire element damage, of course. So huge increase of damage for the fire element team, way more than to what Azel will be providing us, and I believe that is just straight off from her A1, right? Pretty solid on that part. Now, excluding the debuffs, when it comes to A3, she does obviously give ourselves a little bit of buffs that which affect the whole team, which is fantastic. One of the buffs is Afterglow, right? So again, when the enemy's in that break state, of course, basic skill damage and the ultimate skill damage of all of our characters get a 50% increase, and we also get a critical hit rate damage increase of 15%. So you really can't go wrong with that. Oh yeah, once the enemy's in the break state, you also get a damage increase of 12%. And again, that's for the entire team right there. Keep in mind with A4 now, per fire member you have, fire damage increases 5%. So in total, that's an extra 15% for your fire team member. So you guys are starting to see when it comes to this Yuki, she's an absolute beast herself in terms of what she can apply with how her enhanced attack does way more damage, how she's a quick breaker, and then obviously with the hell of a lot more additional damage that you can apply for your fire team. And again, if you choose to max her out, then the distortion debuff will be increased damage taken by 6%. Again, stack up to 3 times, so I think it's an extra 1% increase. The breakdown debuff will then be increased damage taken by 20%, and then a 25% increase in fire element damage. And then when it comes to the Afterglow buff, basic skill and ultimate skill get a 30% increase along with a 20% critical hit damage increase. So A5, all of your debuffs and buffs that allows you to do more damage, get a huge overhaul and a huge increase. So it's a no-brainer to well, when it comes to how the 3 collaboration characters are looking. Minnie's priority, Yuki second place, Suyun's third place. That is how I'm going to kind of rank the part 2 of the collaboration. But I will say this Yuki is one hell of a character. It's more so of she's just so fun. She's good. She's fantastic, and that's what I love about it. But she's such a fun character to actually use, and I love it. So yeah, easy one. Yuki is an amazing fire element damage. So again, I wouldn't say Azel's bad, but to what Yuki's providing us and with where the game is heading towards, again, difficulty wise, right, it's always going to get a little bit more tougher. Yeah, she's more catered to now. So yeah, she, in my opinion, overrides Azel. So, but Azel's still there. You can still use her, but Yuki's better. We'll just keep it short and sweet. Yuki's better. Simple as, boys.